When it comes to success, size matters. Many people associate height with competence and attractiveness, and so taller people are more likely than most to be promoted and have successful careers. But some psychologists think the same effect works exactly the other way round. And so if people think you're successful, they're more likely to see you as taller than you actually are. We wondered in this age of equality whether your status still determines your height.
I dressed as a builder, and people were stopped on the streets and asked how tall they thought I was. Would they change this guess when I subsequently went out dressed as a city slicker?
Your height doesn't change much during your life, and almost everyone knows roughly how tall they are. But is it possible to change how tall other people think you are? Well, some psychologists believe that people's estimates of your height can change depending on how successful they perceive you to be.
I'm here today to find out if your job is linked to your height. I'm going to be dressing Jack up as a builder and a businessman and asking people to estimate how tall they think he is. Let's see how it goes.
Jack is almost 6 feet tall, but with an expensive suit making him look rich and successful, and as a result, taller. Let's find out.
How tall do you think he is?
6'7".
6'7". And why have you made that kind of decision?
Because I'm almost as tall as him.
6'7"? How could this man overestimate Jack's height by that much?
Usually when you walk past someone with a suit on, they have certain, I don't know, they carry a certain weight to them. I wouldn't say in terms of height or anything, but in terms of, I guess, prestige or something, a suit does that to someone.
So it was the suit that added those extra few inches. Let's see if anyone else will be so inaccurate.
If you take a look at that guy there,
yeah.
How tall would you say he was?
6'2".
6'1".
What about the way he was dressed? Does that have any influence?
Yeah, I'd say the suit makes him look a bit taller.
Could you just take a look at that guy down there? Can you estimate how tall you think he is for me?
About 190.
Okay, so 190 centimetres is about 6'3". So why did she guess that?
Well, he might seem taller because he's wearing a suit and looks successful in a sense.
How tall do you think he is?
About 6'2".
Does the way he's dressed influence you at all?
Yeah, it could be actually. Yeah.
Another increase in Jack's height, but why?
The fact that he's dressed quite smartly in a suit, you know, with a briefcase and a Financial Times. I would probably associate height with success and power and that whole alpha male kind of thing.
Almost everyone we interviewed guessed over 6 foot tall, simply because of what he was wearing. Let's change Jack's clothes now to see if dressing down will mean a shrinking down. Remember, even with the builder's outfit, Jack is just under 6 foot tall.
Can you take a look at that guy down there?
Yeah.
Can you estimate how tall you think he is?
I think he's going to be about 5'10", 5'11".
If you take a look at that guy there,
Yeah.
How tall do you think he is?
That guy, about 5'8".
Have a look at that guy just there in the yellow jacket, the builder.
Yeah.
Tell me how tall you think he is.
He's, let me think, right from here, perspection, he's 6'1".
So all but one of these people assumed Jack was smaller than he is just because of what he was wearing. Even the man that guessed about right had good reason to.
I've read articles on, they say that, height does, relate back to success, but I don't know, you have to look at, some of the smaller people in business that have made millions. There's a lot of small guys out there that are absolutely loaded, so hey.
To further demonstrate this, let's alter the experiment and use two people that look the same but differ in one crucial way.
This guy's 5'7" and he's 6'2". I'm going to be interviewing people on the street and asking them to say what career they believe each man has. Let's see whether height really does affect perception of what they do for a living.
Let's start with our tall guy. Remember, he's 6'2".
I'm going to guess graphic designer.
Graphic designer, really interesting. So how much do you think you'd earn a year?
I have no idea.
Just a rough guess. In context with that.
In sterling, I don't know, 40,000 a year, 50,000 a year.
50 grand a year as a graphic designer. Not a bad start. Let's carry on.
What do you think he does for a living?
Could be a hairdresser.
A hairdresser?
Yeah.
What kind of a hairdresser? We're talking
Men's.
very successful?
Men's, yeah.
And what kind of wage would he be earning?
40,000 a year.
Yeah, 40,000 a year. Can you take a look at this man here and tell me what you think he does for a living?
He's, to me, he looks like an undercover cop.
So what would his wage capacity be? What would he be earning?
35 grand.
35,000? What kind of a job do you think he does?
such a job in the office.
In the office,
Yeah.
fantastic. So what kind of an office job? Do you see it as a very professional job, or?
I think it's professional.
So what kind of wage bracket, ideally, would you say he was earning?
30.
Another assumption of success. So why?
I think people always think that grown-up people that very tall people are very successful in job and earning money and in relationships also.
So our tall volunteer was assumed to be quite successful by just about everyone we asked. But what about our shorter friend? Will the fact that he's only 5'7" mean that people think less of him?
I just want you to tell me what you think he does for a living.
Maybe security or army or something with that, you know, we've got to look quite groomed.
What do you think his earning bracket is?
I'd say 20 grand max.
Fantastic. What kind of a car do you think he drives?
I don't think he has a car.
Our shorter man is perceived to be much less successful. Let's see if the trend continues.
Just tell me what you think he does for a living.
I think he's a chef.
Ah, really interesting. Why a chef?
I'm not quite sure. Maybe I've seen someone before that looks like him that's a chef.
Tell me what you think he does for a living.
He's a chef.
Interesting. What do you think he's earning then?
He's kind of quite down the chef ladder. 22.
22,000.
Yeah.
Look at this guy here and tell me what you think he does for a living.
I think you might be a... Do you work in the shop?
Right, in retail?
Yeah.
So what kind of place do you think he lives in?
What sort of place? One-bedroom flat in town.
So he's alone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.